Hello. Let me while I get set up. Okay. Hello. My name is Emily Franz. I will be leading this yoga flow today. So kind of as you are getting set up here, I invite you to kind of do super similar to what I am doing, setting up your space where it feels most comfortable to you and leaving out any tools, getting the water for you, and finding a nice seated position. Start by seating today. So go ahead and feel like you're getting comfortable. Welcome. So today's class is about grounding, balance, body awareness, linking breath to movement, and kind of just exploring our body a little bit in the way that it kind of moves on its own and kind of take care of itself. We will start with some grounding and breath work, and then move into some standing poses and having tree pose as our peak, and then we'll come back down doing some twists and kind of relaxing and grounding ourselves back out that way. Like I said, I invite you to kind of place anything that you may need to feel most comfortable in our session next to you, or easily accessible. I have a couple tools. I have a strap. For myself, I do not personally use a strap very often. However, it can be helpful in some things, such as kind of like those seated forward folds, helping yourself come down to a place. You can't maybe reach your toes, allowing yourself to kind of have a little bit more stretch in, say, a standing fold as well. I want to encourage you to kind of use this class as a way to explore what feels good for you. There will be some time for you to kind of mess with the poses on your own and try to see what feels good for you and what does not. I will talk through some different variations of things if they feel interesting to you, while also inviting you to, explore your own pace. Some other tools that I have some blocks. I have two here with me today. These will provide some support in those folds and some lunges and with some of our balance as well. Mine are a little skinny in my opinion, so sometimes I do like to have them side by side to kind of provide that stability for myself. But they also can just, provide some support in there as well. So keeping those nearby. And I also have a blanket with me as well. My yoga mat is a little thin, so I like to have a blanket with me for any of our seating poses or anything where like those wrists, hands, knees are going to be on the ground. Kind of just to allow me to be more centered in what my body is currently feeling internally compared to how my seat is feeling on the ground. I invite you to kind of move this around however you like. You can also kind of fold this guy up and it'll provide some support for your heels. And those kind of forward moving things as well. And take a moment to get seated, have some water, and then we are going to get started with some breath work. I do have my iPad here, and it is kind of guiding me through this. This is the first time I've ever led a yoga flow ever. So bear with me as we kind of explore this together. So we are going to kind of start in, easy pose, hero's pose, utilizing the blanket underneath of us, kind of putting one around, finding a comfortable seat for us. You can also, if your hips are feeling a little tight there too, you can utilize these blocks, kind of placing them underneath those hips, giving them a rest, allowing you to sit comfortably without being super focused on our hip flexors there. So I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. The way that I would like to do a lot of this is that I'm going to model this for you, and then we're going to do it together. That way you don't have to be upside down while watching me trying to do a pose. So with our inhale, I kind of encourage you to have your hand on your stomach, kind of feeling your breath go outwards and inwards rather than up and down. So as we inhale, feeling that belly go out. I exhale. And exhale. Feeling that belly button back to the spine. with your hands. What do I do with them? Kind of place them where it feels comfortable. Some say up, some one down, some hold on, some are placed more so in your lap, whatever feels most comfortable. So we're gonna do a couple of those inhales in and out, kind of finding a pace that feels calming for you, but also energizing. And we'll talk to that. So an inhale, feeling that belly go out. Exhaling with that belly button going back to the spine. Then do a couple more breaths. And over these next couple of breaths here, I invite you to kind of take note of what you're currently feeling in your body. Not any tension anywhere. Again, maybe doing a little wiggle to kind of address some of that tension, bring awareness to it, and allow it to exist. Also breathing in, breathing out deeply. Those of you who like a guided body scan, and start at the top of your head, down past your ears into your jaw, to your neck. Cross the collarbones into your shoulders. Anyone's feeling a little uncomfortable with this, I invite you to use your hands to follow along with the body scan. Provide a little bit of grounding. You also do not have to participate this in if you don't want to. Go ahead and focus on your breath. You can put clavicles down to the shoulders, down to your bicep areas, your elbows, down to your forearms, wrists, your palms, fingertips. Pressing any tension that you have and allowing it to be. Down to the sides, hips. Just wiggling around, acknowledging what's there currently. Moving into your thighs, to your knees, shins, and down into your ankles. Kind of just acknowledging where you're at today and what your body is saying about its ability to participate in your session today. Have you bring your awareness back to your breath. Have us inhale in for 4, and then we're going to exhale out for 6. So we're going to kind of acknowledge the top and the bottom of our breath. So have you inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Good, settle. Maybe take another deep breath in. 1 breath back out. What I'm going to have us do is I'm going to have us come to our hands and knees. So within this transition, pulling your blanket back behind you or lengthening it if you would like some support under your hands and knees. But as you feel comfortable, kind of transitioning into that. What we're going to do next is we are going to kind of pay attention to where our hands and our knees are, keeping those hands square underneath our shoulders, and the shoulder length apart like this, and then keeping our knees underneath our hips like this. We don't want to be too far back or too far forward. Same thing with our heels. For your toes, if you don't like them flat on the ground, you can put them up on your tippy toes if you'd like to. What we're going to do, like I said, I'd like to model this for you, and then we can do it together for a couple of breaths. So I'm going to have us inhale. We're going to do some inhale, exhale. I'm doing some cats and cows. Okay. So we inhale. I'm going to have us arch our back out. And filling that belly up with air, imagining it gets heavy. So kind of creating an arch in your back there. So you're going to kind of feel the lengthening of the spine there. Wrong hand. Kind of feel the lengthening of the spine here. And then I'm going to have us exhale, kind of stretch up, kind of tilting the pelvis forward, rounding the shoulders out, and also paying attention to where the stretch feels there. We're feeling where it feels different from the front versus the back of your body. So I'm going to kind of guide us through this. Right, you kind of wiggle around in each pose to feel what this feels like and where your body is stretching itself out. So we're going to inhale, arching our back in, lift. I did it backwards. I apologize. We're gonna inhale and arch our back, and kind of lift the chest up, looking at the wall in front of us. I apologize. So we're gonna inhale, maybe like acknowledge the differences you're feeling within those two things. So inhale, looking up at the sky almost. Kind of feeling that stretch in your ab area, keeping yourself centered over your arms and knees. And then exhale, going down and putting our back to the sky. So then that belly button goes straight to the back, tilting our pelvis a little bit, and tucking our rear underneath. Just for a breath or two, and we're going to do the same thing. So inhale, belly to the floor, chest up. And exhale, and then hold this one again, as well for another breath. Now just come back to tabletop here. We're gonna just flat right up on top. And I want to invite you to try out thread the needle if you would like to. For myself, I utilize a block and I place it right here in my hands. Threading the needle kind of looks like taking your right arm, which the one we'll start with, putting it through the space between your knee and your left arm, kind of turning and looking towards the sky. It'll give you a stretch kind of around this general area, kind of like those obliques and the lower back, a little bit into the shoulder area, right here as well, or under the shoulder. So as we inhale, I'll have you go in. So bring your left shoulder all the way down, utilizing this block as kind of a headrest if you'd like to. Kind of settling into that feeling. I like to kind of hold my hips down in and creating a little bit more of an arch in the back. Myself personally is where I feel the stretch the most. Ready to look towards the sky. Feel the stretch down your obliques and your side a little bit more. Either way is okay. This is kind of, like I said, more of an exploratory yoga flow session. So kind of exploring how your body's keeping that balance. What your toes doing right now while you're here. Are they maintaining the balance for you? Breathing deeply. Push that belly out. Breathe in. Squeezing it shut. Belly button back to your spine. You feel ready? Come back to tabletop. And then pressing with your left arm up. Sliding that arm back in. For the friends who did not want to participate in that one and are kind of still looking out tabletop there, I encourage you to kind of play with that cat-cow a little bit as well, kind of wiggling yourself around, loosening up the knees, the hips, and the wrists, and going clockwise, counterclockwise to kind of feel and explore where your body's at as well. So if you would like to do thread the needle again, I encourage you to try it on the left side now. So your left arm, and then you take it through the space of your right knee and your right arm, bring that shoulder down, bring that to the block. If you would like to not use the block, just making sure that most of your weight is kind of not on your head, and you're facing forward, leaning forward, but rather your weight is kind of still centered on that shoulder there for you. Feeling that stretch. Bring your arm up, your right arm up to the sky if you feel interested. Just feeling what the stretch feels for you. And so kind of stretching out those legs and the wrists, bending forward and backwards, but also paying attention to anything that's and allowing them to swim. You feel ready? Take another inhale and move back into tabletop. And do an exhale there as we settle. We're going to move into some standing positions here next with a kind of a modified sun salute flow as well. So what I'm going to have us do is take the time to kind of sit back on our heels or sit up straight and inhale as we do those movements. Taking our mat and bring me to the back, our blanket, bring me to the back of our mat to utilize it be like some support under our heels during a forward fold or during downward dog, things like that, because we're gonna do a little bit of that to stretch ourselves out. So I recommend that if you would like to. If you are ready, I would recommend kind of from tabletop here, bringing one of your legs right or left to meet your hands there. Standing up. No, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Having our knees from here, kind of binding our feet on the corner of the blanket if we would like to for our heel support. Crawling our hands forward a little bit and moving into downward dog. So feeling our arms lengthen out, feeling our legs lengthen out. We're being on our knees for this first time. Breathing in, out, to kind of flex around, feeling stretch at the back of our legs. Top of our thighs, maybe kind of pedaling our feet around to feel that stretch. To get settled, you may push the blanket out of the way, whatever feels right for you. Keeping our head down with our ears in between our arms. Lengthening and pushing through our shoulders to feel that stretch out. We're going to do a little bit of a up-ten forward fold flow a little bit. I would like if the down shakes for us first. So you could have us come to stand at the top of our mat. So I'm going to have us inhale, and on this inhale, we're going to step forward, getting our feet and our hands together, and then standing straight up in the air, with our arms up to the sky. Okay. So when you're ready, we're going to kind of step forward and do the big inhale, having our feet reach, continuing that inhale all the way up to the sky. From this position, kind of recentering yourself, grabbing a drink of water if you need to. I'm going to talk through a little bit about what we're going to be doing next. Staying at the top of our back. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of do a little bit of a fold here. We'll talk through some of the utilizations of our tools. So if you would like to use a block for a forward fold movement, like I said, mine are a little skinny. Two of them up here for me. We're going to use your full step. What we're going to do is we're going to on an inhale. Our arms are going to rise up to the sky, opening that chest up. Going to fold forward, hinging at the hips here, down, touching the floor or our toes if you can, otherwise reaching for our blocks. We're going to hinge forward here. We're going to hold this for a moment. We're going to inhale again. We're going to do a half lift. So then we're moving our hands to our shins, or if they're on the blocks, kind of having our tippy fingertips touching the blocks. So just to kind of recap, we inhaled with our arms up. Exhaled with that hip hinge into forward fold. Inhaling up to a half lift where our back is, we're aiming for a 90-degree angle here. Gonna feel that spine stretch long, feeling it in the back of our legs here. Then we're gonna, this is the fun part. So from this half lift, we're going to exhale, down, inhale, and sink into chair where our kind of hips are rotating down here. Feeling the weight in our heels and the strength in our thighs, we're gonna reach forward into kind of a like welcoming motion. Then we're going to stand straight on it. A lot of steps, so we're going to kind of go through it one more time. So inhaling, arms rising. So exhale to hinge forward and fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale back down, and then we'll sink into that chair. So exhale, inhale to the chair, and standing up tall while exhaling. That's distinct. Okay, how are we feeling? Feeling like we're able to kind of try that out? So yes, you can use blocks for this. If you feel like you aren't able to go all the way down like this, please utilize your blanket here to kind of provide some support. If you need that, your knees to bend a little bit. Remember, listening to your body and where your body is stretching at, okay? That's the most important for us, okay? So, you ready? We're gonna do this twice. And then we'll kind of adjust and recenter ourselves afterwards, okay? So when you're ready with your tools, and your blocks around, starting from standing, going to inhale, rise your hands onto the sky. So inhale, exhale the forward fold, inhale the half lift, going to exhale back down, inhale into chair. So exhale into chair, exhale back. Ready? One more time. So arms back down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale the half lift. Feeling that stretch in the back of our thighs, feeling our spine lengthen, exhaling back down into fold. Inhaling into chair. Exhaling into stand. How are we feeling? What did you know? As we stand here, kind of grounding ourselves a bit, adjusting. Where did you feel that strength, that stretch, and where did you feel the strength in your body? Recommend you kind of get a drink of water, just scan yourself right now, see where you may feel some strength or some tension. As you are kind of getting settled here, you're going to move into a small warrior flow. We're going to kind of stand. We're going to turn around a little bit, face the wall here. Find yourself centered on the mat, get yourself adjusted. You're going to widen our stance a bit, whatever feels comfortable for you, where you feel strong in your legs, where we're going to kind of leave this pose at. Going to have us kind of keep this foot in line with this wall over here that has this poster is where we're facing. Our left foot is going to stay facing this wall, while our right foot is actually going to turn a little bit. And as you turn, I want to kind of encourage you to shift your weight in a way that feels most comfortable for you. My hips are pretty tight, so this pose feels a little bit uncomfortable for me sometimes. So it takes me a little bit to kind of like feel where I feel the most comfortable at. So we're going to have those right toes forward. And have us keep this left leg pretty straight. Don't hyperextend your knee, but kind of find the strength in keeping it straight there. Have us bend that front knee a little bit. Raise your arms up and open the chest. And have palms up or down a little bit. And have us turn our heads to looking straight down that right arm. And kind of paying attention to where our knees are. That left knee straight, kind of breathing in while we feel this. Exhaling as we feel the strength in our, maybe in our glutes and our knees. Thighs. We're going to hold this for one more breath in and out, and we're going to transition. So, one breath in, making sure that that front knee is not going over the toe box, kind of keeping it centered along the ankle. Whenever you feel available, turn that right arm to face the sky, have the left arm palm down to face the floor, reaching up towards the sky, looking with that right arm as we inhale. Okay, ready? So inhale, looking up towards the sky. Having this back right arm kind of rest along that thigh, feeling the strength that comes with that, leaning itself forward. Holding this for one more breath, feeling that strength. In and out. Returning back to warrior two there. What we're going to do next is we are going to kind of return back to our kind of centered place. So with your arms, kind of return them to down to your legs, up to your sides, and allowing yourself to rotate. So inhaling and breathing through this rotation, kind of coming back to a squared stance here, kind of recentering yourself. What we're going to do next is we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, feeling that strength, noticing what you noticed from the first time, applying it to this next one. Okay, so when you're ready, you're going to take this left leg And keeping our right foot pointed towards this wall with the poster, having our left foot turn towards this back wall that we have not faced yet. Okay. In that turn, recognize your hips, kind of feel where we are with that. Utilizing a blanket or a block, and you feel the need to kind of have some support under your heels with these movements as well. Okay, some of our legs don't love to be straight. Okay, so with this, I'm gonna have us turn here, and then with a breath in, kind of feeling centered, and on our next breath outwards, I'm gonna have us kind of lean down into this pose, okay? So remember having our hands on our thighs, kind of as we feel our body move into this position. Take an inhale, and then exhale, kind of put ourselves into this position. A little bit wider on this one, because my body responds a little bit better to be wide on this side. Again, remember whatever your body feels, whatever feels right for your body is what's important here. Recognizing the strength, kind of inhaling still, recognizing the strength, keeping that leg not fully locked out, kind of feeling the strength in straight. As you kind of breathe through this pose and kind of play with the movement through this pose, making sure that that front knee is not going over top of our toe box there. I invite you guys to put your arms up. It can help with balance if you're looking for that. Kind of exhaling and looking over that left arm now, kind of straight out. Holding this for another breath or two, noticing the strength that you have, the way that your body is balancing itself out. You ready? I encourage you to lift, to turn that left palm towards the sky. On your next inhale, looking towards the sky and dropping your right arm back. On that exhale, recognizing the strength that you have in your back leg here that's keeping you nice and stable. Feeling your toe box on the left foot, keeping you stable. Dropping this down here. Whenever you're ready, I'll drop this back down. So, sorry, I heard a weird sound. We will kind of turn that palm back around, down to the ground, follow its gaze down, breathing out, bring your arms down, and breathing away feels comfortable to you. Inhaling here, kind of walking yourself back to a good standing pose. Sometimes that can be a lot for our thighs and kind of maintaining our balance in that way. Recommend for you to kind of do a little ankle stretch out and have a drink of water or something while we kind of transition to the next. From here, I'm going to kind of adjust a little bit because I think I'm going over time very slightly. We are going to kind of, from there where we felt all of that strength in our thighs, we are going to kind of transition into tree pose now. So I'm going to have us kind of bring our feet together here. And I want to kind of put a couple of things out there while we do this pose. Please, please, please listen to your body in this one. This can be a difficult pose, and I want to make sure that you are kind of paying attention to where your body is with this pose. We will be kind of placing, this is kind of an image that you see with yoga. I would like us to kind of remind yourself to put your foot at the ankle, the calf, or up on the thigh, but not on the knee area here. We do not want the knee there. I will kind of make a couple prompts for it, but I encourage you to be aware of your foot placement and just making sure that it is not in kind of this section here, because we do not want to come to like catty that guy. Okay. So kind of have your toes here. We're going to stand tall in a mountain pose. You can have your hands kind of here at your center if you'd like to. What I'm going to have you do is put your hands wherever they feel the most comfortable for you. I know that some like them up top, some like them a little bit farther down, where it feels most comfortable for you. Have you lift your right foot a little bit, shifting your weight onto your left foot entirely. So picking your right foot up a little bit, shifting that weight to your left foot, playing around here for a second, just feeling that balance. I kind of encourage you that if you feel like you may struggle with some balance, going to a wall, or kind of utilizing a block if you'd like to with this one. So I have you kind of have your hands to your heart or reach up to the sky, whatever feels best for you. I like hands to the heart. And have you take your right foot and kind of turn it outwards a little bit towards the right wall and bring that right foot and place it on the ankle, noticing where your balance is in this moment. Breathing through it being on the ankle. Next, inhaling as you bring it up to the calf here, avoiding the knee area again. Kind of feeling your foot, the left foot, ground yourself and keep that balance. If you lose your balance, feel free to kind of shift your weight off the left foot and back on. Feeling that moment for you. If you would like to, please feel free to try and put your right foot onto the thigh, but we're going to hold this for one more breath or think differently. Feel free to grab that and place it way up on there. So we're sure that we're avoiding the knee area. One more breath in, noticing the strength of our ankle, calf, and exhaling as we feel the balance in our shins and our toes. As we exhale, go ahead and bring that down. Kind of bring it slowly down, avoiding the knee area again, going back down to this mountain pose. Okay. You ready? We will do the opposite. You're going to shift our weight onto our right foot, kind of letting that left foot dangle a little bit, getting used to the sensations of our right foot, learning how to balance itself in this moment. Inhale, bring it to the calf. Holding this for a breath, bring up to the calf. Noticing how our body is already starting to balance itself out. Reaching down if you need to, or placing your left foot onto that right thigh area. Again, avoiding that toe box if you need to. For those of our friends who are utilizing the wall, feel free to lean back into the wall and off of the wall to see how your body is adjusting and balancing itself out. Hold this for about 2 more big breaths in. Another exhale. Allow your body to move and wiggle. This does not have to look perfect. One more inhale in, and then on this exhale, we're going to move ourselves down to the calf. Okay. Inhale, exhale, move down to the calf. As you move, notice that balance piece. Good. Place your foot down if you need to. Keeping your hands on the heart as best you can. Inhale here, exhale down to our ankle. On this next exhale, kind of returning back down to mountain pose. Feel free to go over your tippy toes a little bit. Wiggle yourself around as your body relaxes, not having to balance itself on one leg. And relax there. Take a drink of water if you would like to. Maybe if we had a little bit more time, I would have us stay there for about 3 or 4 rounds of doing that. Going back and forth between each leg, but for the sake of time, have us kind of move into a kind of the bottom half of this flow. So I invite you to set up your space in a way that will be conducive for some sitting poses. So I'm going to utilize my mat, my blanket on my mat. And I have us kind of turn towards this right wall. Come to a seated position. Going to sit down. We're going to do some seated forward folds and some supine twists as well, just so you can expect what tools you may need. For myself, this is where I do like to use a strap around these my muscles maybe a little bit tight. You may also utilize a block when we do the twist kind of it as well. Okay. Whenever you feel available, go ahead and come to a seated position here with our legs out in front of you. I'm going to have us Inhale, we kind of take our arms from our sides here, reach up and meet them in the middle. Looking up as our hands to the sky. So when we ready for an inhale, go ahead and do that. Reaching up, and then as we exhale, I want you to pull down. So whenever you're ready, what we're going to do is reaching up. That inhale, looking towards the sky, or reaching down towards our toes, grabbing them if you can. And if you can't, utilize a couple of different tools here. Either maybe reaching for your ankles and kind of lowering yourself down, or utilizing that strap around there to help pull yourself down. Okay. So we're going to do this a couple of times. Let's adjust this really quickly. Go ahead and put your arms up to the sky, breathing in. Looking up to the sky, exhale, folding that head down to down to your toes, allowing your back to round slightly. And kind of we're gonna hold this for a little bit. We're gonna allow your breath to move to the back of your legs. So feeling your your thighs relax a little bit, those knees relax. As you're breathing, don't push your legs down and listen to our body, but acknowledging where that tightness is, and exploring this position to see where it's there's more of a stretch or less of a stretch. So inhaling in, feeling that body, rounding that back out, exhaling out. And exhale out. More time. Have us kind of reach back up to the sky, so toes to the sky, our hands. Ready? Inhale in. And exhale, follow your arms, fall down to your side. Shake out your back, your thighs a little bit. What we're going to do next is we are going to lay onto our backs. If you need to adjust your blanket or your mat at all to make this a more comfortable experience, please do so. So we're here going to have us go onto our backs. So as we find the bottom of your exhale, inhale, and lay back. Once you lay back, we're going to exhale one more time. Okay. Ready? Exhaling down. Kind of allowing yourself to sit here for a breath or two to allow that spine to stretch out. We're going to need this a little bit. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we are going to kind of bring our knees to our chest here. So whenever you feel available, kind of inhaling and bringing those knees up. Okay, so inhale in. Exhaling to your knees, feel like they're at a good place for you. What we're going to do from here is we are going to drop our knees to the right or the left. And if you need to do so, please utilize a block to place underneath of your knees on either side. I'll demonstrate on the left side here since it's better. But what we're going to do is we are going to exhale and drop our knees to the left. So we're going to take a big inhale. Exhale down to the left. And having a block here or your bolster here, where we're looking for the stretch to be is going to be along this hip area here, maybe a little bit into that lower back as well. The goal is to have both of our shoulders flat on the ground behind us, by making sure that we're able to keep this position, and the goal not to be to have our knee on the floor. The goal is to move our knees in a way that allows us to get a stretch from this position rather than moving this to make this happen. I hope that makes sense. So keeping our shoulders on the floor, kind of we're going to inhale and exhale, move our knees to the floor, utilizing a block or a bolster if necessary. So inhale in, feeling that belly fill air, and then exhale, letting your knees drop to the side there, allowing your legs to kind of rest for a moment. Inhale again, in. Wherever your hands are, we're not holding them out to the sides here. Kind of making a T with our arms, having our leg legs to the side. Myself, my body stretched out a little bit, so I'm gonna move that block. Gonna gaze to the left in the next inhale. Then we're gonna hold it for the exhale. Whenever you're ready, we're gonna inhale in. Turn to the left and exhale once we get there. The next inhale, we're gonna inhale and look back up at the ceiling. Exhaling once we reach there. We're doing it one more time, but inhaling and looking to the right. Whenever you're ready. Inhale, move your neck over. Exhale once you reach there. Inhale one more time, back up to the ceiling. Exhaling once we reach there too. To there. I invite you to move your knees on the next inhale back up to a center plate. We're going to exhale once we get there. On the next inhale, we'll drop our knees to the right. And then we'll kind of repeat this whole process. So I'm going to allow you to kind of do this next one on your own, at your own pace. So next inhale, moving up. Next inhale, dropping down. Relaxing. Exhaling once we relax into that position. On your own time, your own breath cycle. Inhale when you move your head side to side. Exhale once you reach that position. Feeling that stretch. Lower back. Relaxing your body out a little bit as well. As you are kind of returning to the center there with your head, bring your knees back to the center as well in your next inhale. Exhale. Relax your back in. And the next exhale, so we're going to inhale for 10 and exhale out. We're going to let our legs go out straight. So we're going to inhale and exhale out. Allowing our arms out. Or having to go to our sides, whatever feels most comfortable for you. From this position, we're going to kind of do corpse pose, where you can rise up long underneath your knees. So then you can stay sitting, laying down if you want to. Utilize a block under here, kind of like this for a little bit of support there. They also kind of roll your blanket up underneath of your neck for a little bit of comfort, or underneath your hips. But this pose is mainly about having a comfort and a rest in our body after doing some high-level awareness and balance skills first. Okay. So don't cross your legs if you can, keeping them kind of flat out, keeping your eyes open if that's more comfortable, relaxing your gaze or closing your eyes, and kind of walk us through staying in this corpse pose for about 2 minutes. Okay. So laying back and resting, having your legs extended, arms to the sides, palms up, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And allow you to bring awareness to your breath. Where is it at right now? Is it fast paced? It's slow and neat. Top of your lungs, it's in the bottom of your belly. Increase your comfort. I invite you to use your hands to kind of body scan yourself as well. Awareness to where your breath is in your stomach. Shoot that belly out, the inhales. Shoot it all the way back to your spine on the exhales. If you'd like to, I invite you to do a body scan. And go the opposite way as we started. Acknowledging the toes, the ankles, and the calves. Their attention there that's the less than present before. I'm not sure if it was there before or is it now. Big up into the shins and knees and the thighs. Thanking these areas for providing us with strength and balance to do our poses today. Having gratitude for their ability to do so, even if there was a little bit of identifying each tension in the areas and allowing it to exist there. The work there in the body is strong. Moving up into the hips, stomach, and the back. Where is the tension out there? Your back comfortable. Do you feel the seam of the blanket and the vent? Just bring attention to those things. Moving up into our shoulders, our elbows, our hands. Is there any tension there? If you're using your hands to kind of map your body out, where do you feel the tension at? Pay attention to what you feel on your fingertips. Breath. Moving up into our neck, our head. Pay attention there. You need to kind of wiggle out. Bring attention back to your breath. And I encourage you to let everything be soft. Let everything relax. Let everything go. In this moment, only focus on your breath and the way that it feels in your stomach. Just when you feel available, I'm gonna have you wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, like those little muscles back up. Have us either roll to your side to a seated position, or place your hands under you as you transition to a seated position. Similarly to when you started, I'll have you place blocks underneath of your knees here. You'd like a little bit more support as we do this. As you kind of come to this position, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart. And kind of recognize within yourself that balance isn't stillness. Having balance in all of these moves that we did today, it's learning how to return back to a place of stability, allowing yourself to be in a space that doesn't feel very stable, maybe having your left leg is not as strong as your right leg, or having some issues with focusing forward. Balance is about returning to stillness, not necessarily about maintaining stillness all of the time. I invite you to take one last deep breath in, feeling that belly inflate. One last deep breath out, pushing that belly button to the spine. Thank you for being here today. I hope that this was interesting. It definitely went longer than I expected it to. But I welcome your feedback if you have any. Thank you very much.